Hi everyone, this is Nataraj. I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about that launching the VM using the instant template with the Terraform. What is the instant template? An instant template is the reusable configuration for the virtual machine. It defines the settings such as machine types, disk configuration, network settings, metadata and more. Instance groups in the GCP are collections of the virtual machine that can be managed as the single entity. They are essential for ensuring the availability, scalability and efficient management of the multiple instances. Using the instant template, you can avoid the repeated task for re-entering the VM settings for every time whenever you want to be deployed and ensuring that consistency across your environment. There are two main types of instance groups in the GCP. The first one is a managed instance group. Next one is that unmanaged instance groups. Managed instance group. Managed instance groups maintaining the high availability of the application by supporting auto healing, auto scaling features. Key features: auto scaling. Automatically adjust the number of the instance in the response to be the load changes. Next one is that auto healing, automatically recreating the instance if they became unhealthy. Next one is that load balancing, distributing that incoming traffics to across the instance. Next one is that multiple zone distributions, distribute the instance across the multiple zone to withstand that zone failures. Automatic updates, support for rolling updates and canary deployments. The use case of managed instance groups: the web applications must be handling that variables traffic loads, the stateless applications where each other instance is ideal, also that interchangeables. Unmanaged instance group. Unmanaged instance groups are the instance that you want to be the grouping together but manage that individually. Key features: custom configuration. Each instance can be separate configurations and management. Next one is the load balancing. You can use the load balancing target group for the simple round robin distributions for the traffic. The use case of unmanaged instance group: the applications where each instance is requires individually configurations. We are at the Visual Studio Code. The entire source code is available on my repository. You can clone from any time. We can see the Terraform file one by one. I'm going to click on main.tf file. The first one is that local variables. Here I am combining the list of GCP service from the variable with the additional services. So according to my requirement, I am enabling the certain APIs. Next resource is that Google Project Services. This resource mainly used for enabling the specific GCP service for my projects. We can see that attributes one by one. First I am using the for each. For each I mainly use for to iterating the over of the list of the services. Next one is the services. Is specify the service to be enabled. So whenever the iteration is going on, the one by one services will be passing to the service. Next attribute is that disable dependency services. We need to be ensure that dependency service are disabled when the main service is disabled. Next attribute is that disable on destroyed. I am disabling the service when the resource is destroyed. Next resource is that time sleep resource. It mainly this resource used for to wait for the API installation to ensure the service are enabled before proceeding. The next resource is that Google Compute Instant Template. We can see that attributes one by one. The first one is the name. Here I am specifying the name of the instant template. Next one is the instant types. I choose with the E2 micro. Here it depends upon your requirement. You can choose either of that any instant types. Next one is the tags, which I used for the firewall rule. Next one is the disk block. The source underscore image. In my case, I choose with Ubuntu OS. Next one is that auto delete. Here I am ensuring it that disk is be deleted when the instant is deleted. Otherwise, it will be unnecessarily charging the amount. Next one is the boot. I am marking the disk as the booting device. Next one is the disk size GB. I defined with 30 GB the size of the disk. Next one is the network blocks. I specified the default network which instance will be connected. Next one is that access config. I'm adding the inferable IP address to the B instance. Next one is that service account. Here I'm granting the instant access to be the specific roles. Next one is the metadata block. The metadata mainly used for to add to the instance. Startup scripts. To startup scripts mainly used to run the package installation when the instances are created. Next one is the depend on. To ensure the resource to create only after the time sleep resource has been completed. Next one is the local variable to read the content of my startup scripts. Also I am specified the file will be located my local path here. Next one is the data blocks to use to fetch that my latest Ubuntu image based on the family and project ID you can fetch. Next resource is the Google Compute Instance Group Manager. The managing that group of instance based on my specific instance template. We can see the attribute one by one, the name of the instance group manager. Next one is that base instance names. I'm specifying the base name for my instance group. Next one is that versioning block, instant templates. So I'm specifying the instant template using for that my instance, whichever the previous resource I'm calling. Next one is the target size. I'm specifying the number of the instance to maintain the group. Right now I defined with the 1. Next one is that named ports. This block I'm defining as the name of the port for the load balancer. Next resource is the autoscaler. This policy is maintaining between the 1 and 3 instance within the cool time period of the 16 second between the scaling actions. The autoscaler scaling based on the target CPU utilizations of the 0.5. The next resource is the Google Compute HTTP health check. It is used to check the HTTP health check for that instance. The main parameter here is that check the specific request path I define at the slash for every 10 seconds with the 5-second time interval is responding checking. Next resource is that Google Compute backend services. This resource is defining the backend service for my load balancer. It is used for to HTTP protocol to expose that applications. Next resource is the Google Compute URL mapping. This resource mainly used to redirect that traffic to the specific backend services. Next resource is the Google Compute target HTTP proxy. This resource defining an HTTP proxy that routing the traffic to that specific URL mapping. Next resource is the Google Compute Global Forwarding Rule. Here I am forwarding rules that can forward the traffic to the specific HTTP proxy. Here I am defining the external schema to expose the global with that 80 port range. Next resource is the Google Compute Firewall. The firewall rule is allow the HTTP traffic from any IP address to the instance with the default networks. So next file is the provider.tf file. This configuration is ensure that Terraform can authenticating with Google services and creating a resource in a specific project and regions and zones. Next file is the variable.tf file. This file I am defining the 3 variables that are used to the Terraform configurations, project ID, region and services list. Next file is that startup script.sh. This scripts I am ensuring that installing that Apache web package. Also I am starting the service and I am configuring the start automatically on that system rebooting. I am moving to the terminal and executing the Terraform operations. I am going to click the 3 dot, new terminal. Just I am elaborating. So I am already executing the Terraform plan and init command. So I am skipping those options. Now I am directly executing the Terraform apply command. So now the 14th resource going to create 0 changes, 0 destroys. It asking the user input. I'm going to give at that yes is input. Now the resource is creating on it. According to my flow execution, the first the API service will be initiating, then only moving forward to that resource creations. Now the Terraform operation successfully completed. The entire operation is took 5 minutes around. Now I am going to that GCP console. I am at the GCP console page. I am going to click the navigation menu. Compute engines. I can choose with the instant templates. The instant template is visible here. Whichever I am defining in that machine types, image, disk types, those information is appear here. Scroll down below. We can check the instance groups. These are my instance groups. You can see that the group type is managed. Now I am going to the load balancer. I choose the load balancer. I choose with the front ends. This is the IP address of my load balancer. Just I copy it. I open with a new tab. Yes, now I can see that Apache web page. That's it. I hope this video will be useful to everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.